Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I've officially discovered that Jackson Williams is no fun. I'll tell you what I mean about that in just a moment. It is 8 minutes after 6. I've also realized yet again that there's a member of the United States Supreme Court that is not a very intelligent person. I'll share who I think that is in just a moment with you on Super Talk 99.7 WTN as well. 615-737-9986. If you'd like to be a part of the show in the final hour, we'd love to hear from you. Love to see you on the Super Text line or hear from you on the phone lines. And those numbers are exactly the same. And I just delivered them one more time, 615-737-9986. 6622 has communicated and said, Matt, just so you know, someone's impersonating you on Facebook, sending out friend invites, same profile pic and a similar banner pic, HTH Bing. What does that mean? You think HTH Bing?
I don't know, but I'm the one impersonating you on Facebook.
Well, if that, I am not inviting anyone to become my friend, and if someone sends you that, how do I combat that though, Jackson? I would need to know who that is and report them. I guess
you'd have to find the account.
Well,
you'll never catch me.
Someone send me the account that Jackson has set up as an impersonator of yours truly, and we'll do our best. We'll do our best effort to try to shut that down. But by the way, speaking of shutting things down, we are well on our way, young man, to shutting down Ken Weaver's reign, his year-long reign as the Nincompoop in the News weekly champion presented by the Wellness Institute of Nashville. He currently has the trophy. He currently has the crown. He has held said same for weeks now. Weeks.
So I won today?
You did not win today.
You won today.
I won today. Finally.
Anybody but Weaver.
I don't think I've won in a month of Sundays, friends. That sounds like a guy that was like, that's fine, Murphy. You take down the giant. You take down the champion, and I'll take you on later on in the week and beat you. That's what you sound like.
Yeah, ABW, anybody but Weaver.
I'm with you on that one right now. Anybody but Ken Weaver. Anyway, thank you all for your votes. It was a lot of fun. Nincompoops was a lot of fun today. Okay, so Jackson says the reason that Jackson is a fun spoiler, he says that I can't play the audio of this next clip that I'm going to play exclusively, I guess now, but I'll describe it for you on radio and on audio only platforms.
I have a rebuttal.
What is your rebuttal?
I am not no fun. The FCC is no fun.
No, Jackson says I would argue and make the case that there is no cursing involved in this video. Jackson says that there is a lot of cursing.
You know what we can do, Matt?
What can we do?
The FCC has no control over the stream.
Are you going to play it on the stream? Yeah, let's play it on the stream. Yeah, can you separate how
yep,
can
it's separated?
Okay, so you're not going to play it on the radio. You're going to play it on the stream.
Yep.
Will I be able to hear it?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so this will play on the stream only in audio format, but we're playing the video on both.
Well, the video is only going to be on the stream anyway.
Oh, that makes sense. But that's me being stupid. Yeah, the video would only be on the.
We're not beaming this to people's eyeballs in their car. That's unsafe.
I'm just an idiot.
You've never done anything like that. That was a rare moment for you.
Hey,
that was great.
Y'all pull over and watch this.
That's just run.
They can do that, Ken. But
I was like, all right, so we're only going to hear this on the stream, right? Right. And we're only going to see it on the stream. Are they going to see it on the radio too? No. Okay, that's stupid. All right. So I will describe this to you. If you have not seen this, go to my X Machine feed, at Matt Murphy Show on the Twitter account, at Matt Murphy Show. And you have to scroll down past a couple of stupid comments by Ketanji Brown Jackson. You have to scroll down past the stupid story about Afton Bain lying about all of these death threats that she's had, because I don't believe she's had all of these. Maybe she's had one death threat. I don't believe for a moment that she's had all these multiple death threats, because if she has, why hasn't she reported it to the proper authorities? Scroll by that, and you will see the definition of FAFO. So this is an ICE protest, and there is a fella out there. There are a couple of folks out there that are supportive of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, supportive of Donald Trump. One of those gentlemen is minding his own business, flying an American flag. And this one knucklehead in a red jacket with gloves on and a hoodie on with a megaphone will not leave this guy alone. So this guy with the American flag is minding his own. He's just standing there doing his thing, using his constitutional right to offer support for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, while everyone else on the scene, almost everyone else, they are condemning Donald Trump, condemning Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And this one guy is following him around with his megaphone. And you know how with those megaphones you can make noise, you can go wee, 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 wee.
Yeah,
wee.
we had one in here for a while. Remember they took it away from us.
Oh, did they make us? They took it back?
I think.
Mm.
I can go get it probably.
You know, you can make it go wee, 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 beedo, 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 and all that kind of thing. Well, he's doing this to this guy, and the guy's just walking away from him, walking away from him, walking away from him, walking away from him. And finally, and this guy looks to be, would you say it's a fair characterization that he's an older fella and the other guy's a younger fella? Middle-aged? I think he's a middle-aged guy.
I mean, he's not your age, but he's an older fella.
Thank you very much, Jackson. This is what would happen between you and I when we inevitably get into it, is that you better watch those uppercuts, baby.
I don't know. That's a little fella.
Let me tell you, this guy, the one guy drops his megaphone in the street, and he bends over to pick up that megaphone, and old boy who's been followed around for 30 seconds with that thing in his ear decides he's had enough, and he pulls an uppercut and clocks that dude in his mouth. And then, so everybody else tries to jump the guy, and the guy starts fighting them off too. So he fights 2 or 3 of them off. In the meantime, old Redcoat has gotten back up, and Redcoat decides he wants another piece of the action. And so Redcoat takes off those gloves, and he's got his hoodie down now, and he's ready to go. He's ready to get back to it. He's already been clocked once. And he comes up to old boy, and he takes a fighting stance, and old boy pops him again. 1 shot. Well, 2 hits. He hits him. He hits the ground.
Where'd he pop him at?
Popped him right in the puss. For those of you on the stream, here's what it looked like and sounded like. So there he is. He's got the megaphone. And if you're watching on the stream, you hear it. Oh, he's all in his ear about it. And the guy's moving his head. He's like, no, get out of there. Don't do that. Oh, now stop. Don't grab my flag now. You can hear him say, don't grab my flag. Oh, but he's walking away. The guy won't leave him alone. The fella's got himself an umbrella, which is, come on, man. And so he's walking away. And finally, he drops the megaphone. And when he does, bam! Boom! Laid him out. Now everybody jumps him. The American flag hits the ground. Somebody picks up the flag. He clocks that dude. Clocks another dude. Oh, he's coming in for a guy. This guy takes down 4 of them. 4 of them. Now here comes Redcoat. Oh, he throws down the umbrella. He gets his gloves off. He wants him some now. He comes up. Hey, you clocked me. I didn't like that. Bam! And dude is out.
He did get put to sleep.
I mean, he went night.
Awesome.
That is the definition of leave me alone, man. Leave me alone, man. Leave me alone, man. Leave me alone, man. And then he took out 5 of them. And I love everything about it. Love everything about it. Just so good. And I would play the audio, but Jackson claims that there's a couple of F-bombs in it.
Couple F-bombs, couple S-bombs.
What, did they say fiddlesticks?
Fiddlesticks and...
Shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, shucks. Fiddlesticks.
Oh, shucks. He hit a buddy of ours in his face.
I'm going to fiddlesticks you up.
Hey, fiddlesticks around and find out. Hey, I think that fella fiddlesticked around. Well, he found out, didn't he? Love everything about it. I don't love this. Scott Adams has passed away. What a great warrior for, conservatism. What a great warrior for the American experience. Scott Adams was a good man. Most of you know him from his Dilbert days. He was the creator, illustrator, and author of the Dilbert comic strips. that I grew up with. He was just, man, Dilbert was something else before Jackson Williams was born. Back in 1997, 1998, I mean, it was the comic strip. Scott Adams did that, and what a wonderful, tender message. Scott Adams had prostate cancer, which is, and I don't know, I don't know the specific circumstances for Scott Adams, but for the most part, prostate cancer is a preventable cancer, at least in terms of fatality. Please, guys, get your prostate checked, and make sure get your colorectal cancer is almost entirely preventable from a fatality standpoint. Prostate cancer almost entirely preventable from a fatality standpoint, and less so than colorectal cancer. But just get checked. You got to catch it early. You've got to catch it early. Well, Scott Adams went through it. He had a few things, very direct things to say about race relations in the United States of America, and he got canceled as a result. Scott Adams did nothing wrong, but it was in the midst of cancel culture, and he was one of the ones canceled, and his syndicators canceled his comic strip, and he started doing other things to include a podcast. And he announced last year that he had prostate cancer, and it had spread to his bones. And over the years, if you followed him on social media platforms like X, if you followed him at all on his podcast, you know that his health was deteriorating. He made it to 2026, and he died, as announced by his ex-wife earlier today. But he wrote one final message to folks, and I was going to share that with you. He entitled it "A Final Message from Scott Adams." He wrote it on January 1st, 2026, just 12 days ago. And it reads as follows: "If you're reading this, things did not go well for me. I have a few things to say before I go. My body failed before my brain. I'm of sound mind as I write this January 1st, 2026. If you wonder about any of my choices for my estate or anything else, please know I'm free of any coercion or inappropriate influence of any sort, I promise. Next, many of my Christian friends have asked me to find Jesus before I go. I'm not a believer, but I have to admit the risk-reward calculation for doing so looks very attractive, so here I go. I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I look forward to spending an eternity with him. The part about me not being a believer should be quickly resolved if I wake up in heaven. I won't need any more convincing than that, and I hope I'm still qualified for entry. With your permission, I'd like to explain something about my life. For the first part of my life, I was focused on making myself a worthy husband and parent as a way to find meaning. That worked. But marriages don't always last forever, and mine eventually ended in a highly amicable way. I'm grateful for those years and for the people I came to call my family. Once the marriage unwound, I needed a new focus, a new meaning, and so I donated myself to the world, literally speaking the words out loud in my otherwise silent home. From that point on, I looked for ways I could add the most to people's lives one way or another. That marked the start of my evolution from Dilbert cartoonist to an author of what I hope to be useful books. By then, I believed I had amassed enough life lessons that I could start passing them on. I continued making Dilbert comics, of course. As luck would have it, I'm a good writer. My first book in the useful genre was How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big. That book turned out to be a huge success, often imitated and influencing a wide variety of people. I still hear every day how much that book changed lives. My plan to be useful was working. I followed up with my book, Win Bigly, that trained an army of citizens how to be more persuasive, which they correctly saw as a minor superpower. I know that book changed lives because I hear it often. You'll probably never know the impact the book had on the world, but I know, and it pleases me while giving me a sense of meaning that is impossible to describe. My next book, Loser Think, tried to teach people how to think better especially if they were displaying their thinking on social media. That one didn't put much of a dent in the universe, but I tried. Finally, my book, Reframe Your Brain, taught readers how to program their own thoughts to make their personal and professional lives better. I was surprised and delighted at how much positive impact that book is having. I also started podcasting a live show called Coffee with Scott Adams, dedicated to helping people think about the world, their lives, in a more productive way. I didn't plan it this way, but it ended up helping lots of lonely people find a community that made them feel less lonely. Again, that had great meaning for me. I had an amazing life. I gave it everything I had. If you got any benefits from my work, I'm asking you to pay it forward as best you can. That's the legacy I want. Be useful. And please know I loved you all to the end. Scott Adams. It is not often that a man gets to write his own eulogy. Scott Adams did, and he passed away today at the age of 68. It's 24 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Would all of you flood the zone with telephone calls right now so Jackson can't pay attention to the Tennessee Volunteers basketball game? Thank you. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. I need Jackson laser focused on those phone lines and not so much focused on the fact that his team is losing to the Texas A&M Aggies.
Gotta be kidding me.
Hey, Jackson.
Huh?
How's it going, buddy?
Not good.
What's the score, friend?
23-15. They're at the free throw line.
That's too bad. Have you figured out if Georgia's playing right now?
Don't care.
Well, I'm asking you to find out. Is that okay? I'm doing a radio show. 615-737-9986. Larry is in Clarksville. Hey, Larry.
Hey, brother. Thank you for taking my call.
Of course, man.
First of all, I wanted to congratulate you on your new place. It is absolutely beautiful. And I also wanted to say how fortunate WTN is to have you, Brother Ken, and even Action Jackson. I don't have that many days left, but I just wanted to let you know how fortunate we are to have you guys on the air.
Well, I'm equally fortunate to have you in my life, Larry. It's been a pleasure knowing you. It's been a pleasure having you a part of my family and our family for the years that you have been a part of my family. And I expect that you've got more time left than you think. Well, I thought about saying it this way. I was going to try to be funny, but I won't try to be funny. I was going to say you're like something stuck on the end of your finger, but you hang around. But brother, you hang in there. My mama taught me something very, very valuable, because when she and I didn't know she was teaching me this thing at the time. You know, when she got brain cancer, I was 5 years old. She had a malignant brain tumor, and I think I've told you a little bit of this story, Larry. Mama had a spirit that would not quit, and she was told repeatedly, and our family was told repeatedly, that she was about to die. They told her that she had a 50% chance to die on the operating table. That's how bad the tumor had gotten. That she had a 20% chance to live 2 to 5 years. That was her prognosis, a 20% chance to live 2 to 5 years. And she lived 25 years. 25 years. And it's because she was stubborn as hell, Larry, and she wanted to watch her children grow up. And she said as much. She said she was dedicated to watching her children grow up into grown men and women. I have a brother and a sister, older brother and a sister. And she did that. And I see a lot of that stubbornness in you, brother. There's a reason why you got an affinity for goats. Because you're an old goat.
That's true. And I was going to ask you if you got your backyard fenced in. I'm sorry. I'm crying funny tears. I was going to ask you, after you got your backyard, your huge backyard fenced in, if you guys want to get goats. Because I was going to tell you, no, get emus.
Emus are better than goats?
Look, emus are friendly. Their eggs are worth a fortune.
Okay. So no fainting goats.
Well, the fainting goats are funny.
Yeah, well.
And, Hank is living the damn life, Matt. Hank has 13 girlfriends and 9 kids. And he's also now in a fenced-in yard with 2 emus.
Well,
Now, Hank has not tried to, let's say hunt the emus.
Uh-huh.
Because I think Hank is smart enough to know that they would just stomp his rear end. But I just wanted you guys to know how much you all are appreciated.
Well, keep us up to date. Don't be a stranger, and we love you, buddy.
I love you too, man.
All right, man.
Bye.
Take care. There's Larry in Clarksville. Larry's stubborn. Larry be around longer than both of us. Jackson. He's a good guy. 615-737-9986. Bill Clinton is pretty stubborn, too. Clinton earlier today said no thanks to a subpoena to Congress. I love this. I love that the Democrats have changed the nature of the game somewhat during the Trump administration, or at least in the latter portions of the Donald Trump administration first term and during the 4 years that Donald Trump was not president of the United States of America after it was taken from him. He got his comeuppance in 2024, however. We assisted in that regard. But now Bill Clinton has defied a subpoena, saying that he found no compelling reason to abide by it. Well, you don't get to make that call, Billy Boy, and you ought to understand the law more than anyone. You should. Bill Clinton thinks he's above the law. Hillary Rodham Clinton thinks she's above the law, and both of them intend on defying a legal subpoena by the Congress of the United States of America to come before the committee and testify. It's James Comer's Oversight Committee. Bill Clinton today refused to turn up. It is time for a criminal contempt charge against Bill Clinton. No one is above the law. At least that's what we are told. Now, up until several years ago, you would argue, well, what is Congress going to do? They can refer it to the Department of Justice all they want, but the Department of Justice doesn't do anything about it. Well, ask Steve Bannon about that. Now, I'm not vouching for Steve Bannon as a human being, but I will say that Steve Bannon was charged with contempt of Congress. And Steve Bannon served time as a result because he was referred to the Department of Justice, and the Department of Justice prosecuted him. Peter Navarro, same deal. Both Trump-era officials, both convicted and served time for defying a subpoena to testify in front of the January 6th committee. Now, as disgusting as I found that committee to be, as one-sided as it was, as much as that scale was tilted toward the Democrat, but they didn't have any real Republicans on that committee. Liz Cheney, give me a break. She's a Trump hater. Adam Stupid Zinger, whatever his name is, Kinzinger, no real Republican. When Republicans tried to put real conservatives on that committee, Nancy Pelosi refused. And so they refused, Republicans did, to participate in the dog and pony show. Steve Bannon refused to participate, would not show up for his subpoena, and was arrested eventually and charged and served jail time. Now, I understand that Merrick Garland has been held in contempt. He was held in contempt in 2024 for withholding audio from the Robert Hur report while Joe Biden was still president of the United States. But Democrats changed the rules of this game, boy, and it's time that we use them against it. Now, do I believe Republicans will have the intestinal fortitude, the cojones, if you will, to do anything about it? The stones? Probably not. But they should. The House Oversight Committee is initiating contempt proceedings after Bill Clinton made the decision to not appear for a deposition in the Epstein investigation. And this is an escalation, make no bones about it, and we should escalate with both Bill and Hillary. We need answers from Bill Clinton, and it's time we got them. Oh, the Clintons made a show of it. They said, we find no compelling reason. That's not for you to decide, Bill. And it does not matter if you're a former president. Look, there was a time when government officials gave grace to other fellow or former government officials. That time ended when they went after Donald Trump. They tried to impeach him twice, did not work. There was no justifiable grounds to do it. Yet they did it anyway. They impeached him. That is a political indictment. And obviously it went nowhere in the United States Senate. Then they tried to get him with lawfare. 4 separate cases: Florida case, Georgia case, D.C. case, New York case. They tried to stymie him in that way. What was the point? To prevent him from making a comeback, to prevent him from being the selected candidate that the people wanted to run as Republican in the 2024 election cycle. None of it worked, and now he's president of the United States. Well, it's time that we taught the Clintons that they are not above the law and that the times have changed. And if you're in violation of the law, you need to be held to the same standard as everyone else, including Steve Bannon, including Peter Navarro. Don is next up. Hey, Don, how are you?
Hey, Matt, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, I love your show, man, but I feel like Jackson already talked about what I was calling about. I was calling about the Bill Clinton thing. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, what is it? Talk to me.
Well, I wasn't going to ask you for an answer. I just, I wanted your opinion on what's going on. Like, when is somebody going to be brought up for, be accountable for what's going on there? It's just insane.
Well, there's a procedure. You have to vote, and you have to vote Bill Clinton into contempt. You have to hold a vote on that matter. You have to do the same thing for Hillary Rodham Clinton. And then at that time, you would refer that contempt charge to the Department of Justice. And the Department of Justice has to decide what to do with it. I would suggest the Department of Justice under the Trump administration will proceed with criminal contempt proceedings against Bill Clinton if something else doesn't happen in the interim.
So are you saying you think something will happen?
It's possible that Bill Clinton could acquiesce if you call his bluff. If I were to suggest that this was a bluff, that he doesn't think that people will do anything about this, he doesn't think that the House Oversight Committee has the stones, and I don't think he thinks that the Department of Justice does either. By the way, he's not a suspect. He's not being criminally charged with anything. They want him to testify. Right, so they want him to testify. Well, he's compelled to testify if he's got appropriate testimony. So I think if it gets to the Department of Justice and they threaten him with criminal proceedings, that he'll go and they'll negotiate something where he testifies behind closed doors and doesn't have to do so in public.
So how is Hillary involved in that?
Hillary has been called to testify as well.
I know. So was she a visitor of the island?
No. Their testimony has to do with, their testimony has to do with what they do and do not know regarding the Epstein case, but it is more broadly regarding the sexual exploitation of minors and whether or not there needs to be more legislation pushed forward regarding the sexual exploitation of minors. Plus, I think the House Oversight Committee has interest in finding out what Bill Clinton did or did not do in association with Jeffrey Epstein. But, Hillary Clinton might have information consistent with her marriage.
Yes, sir.
If you know what I mean.
Yes, sir. But we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm hopeful. The Republicans consistently disappoint me, and I understand that they don't have a backbone very often. But this is a different time. And it appears that at least the executive branch has gotten the message that we're playing hardball now, not softball, hardball with these people. It is 10 until the top of the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Let me guess, Tennessee down by 6?
I can't see the score.
I wasn't really guessing. They're down by 4
Hurts.
at the half. My beloved dogs aren't playing tonight. I guess they're playing tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Ole Miss. Olemus. We used to call them Olemus. We'll whip that mess out of Olemus. Of course, I thought that the last time Georgia played Ole Miss, and that was in football. 615-737-9986. If you'd like to be a part of the show, we appreciate you. Do you still have my am I still up and running on the stream? I want to share this for those on the stream. So there's another great piece of performance art that came out of Tennessee today, and it involves state troopers. I don't know exactly where this was. If you do on the super text line, let me know. It's a state trooper from, obviously, Tennessee. And this dude steps in front of a trooper car. Have you seen this video?
Yes.
He originally claimed that the trooper ran him over. And then not realizing that every state trooper has an automobile camera. And out of their dash cam, you can clearly see what happened. And here's the audio for those of you watching. I'll describe it to you for those listening. It is from a trooper dash cam. There's about 4 or 5 trooper vehicles. There is a protest going on in the streets. You do not have the right to protest in the streets. Here's what it sounds like. Or here's what it looks like. You still have you have me off.
Away! Move!
I don't need,
Move!
look, so
Move!
the guy steps in front of the vehicle. I don't know if he curses or not, by the way. So give me a hair trigger there. But he watch. They're trying to get out of the way, and the guy steps in front of the vehicle.
Move! Get out of my way! Get out of my way! Move! Move!
And he falls down. He just falls down in front of the vehicle, holds on to it as if he's running him over.
Move! Move!
And then he gets up,
Move!
points his finger, and then leaves.
Come here!
And then gets back in his car. And the trooper goes on his way. That guy claimed the trooper ran him over, and they had to put out the video indicating that that is not what happened. What a dope. What an absolute dope. Speaking of dopes, today there were oral arguments in front of the United States Supreme Court. I listened to them for the better part of the hour. And I said this earlier in the cross with Chad Benson, and I'll say it again. Listening to oral arguments for the better part of an hour. Number one, if you're having trouble sleeping, put this on a loop and listen to it, and you'll fall right asleep. Number two, Elena Kagan and Sonia Sotomayor are leftists, and they are constitutionally wrong, in my opinion, on just about everything, but they're not stupid, okay? Ketanji Brown Jackson is not smart. She was trapped by her own making, attempting to explain what a woman is without giving a definition of a woman during oral arguments. Sadly, because the music is playing, I will not be able to play this for you, but maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Just suffice it to say that the rational people in the room won those arguments, and the Supreme Court is set to rule that it is not permissible for girls to be denied their equal rights to allow guys to compete against them in female-only sports. Thank goodness rational people will prevail in this case. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. That does it for us today. A midweek edition, a Wednesday edition coming up tomorrow. Dan Mandis cranks it up at 5 a.m. throughout the course of the day. Live and local conversation on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Until next time, hug your loved ones, everybody. So long.